He proposed on Valentine's Day with a vintage $7,000 ring. An hour later, his ex sent me a photo of herself wearing it. The diamond caught the morning light filtering through the bedroom blinds, refracting it into 1,000 tiny rainbows that danced across the duvet cover. It was perfect. Vintage, delicate, with a platinum band that felt cool and heavy against my finger. I held my hand up, admiring the sparkle, while Mark sat on the edge of the bed, watching me with a grin that stretched from ear to ear. The tray of half-eaten pancakes and empty mimosa glasses sat between us, the remnants of the most romantic morning of my life. "Do you like it?" he asked, his voice soft, almost reverence. "Like it?" I laughed, a bubbly sound that felt like it belonged to someone else. "Mark, I love it. It's stunning. It's exactly what I wanted." "I knew it," he said, reaching out to squeeze my hand. "I saw it at this little antique shop downtown and I just knew. It had your name on it." "My name on it?" I smiled at him. 4 years. We had been together for 4 years, through job losses, apartment moves, and the general chaos of being 20-somethings in a city that wanted to eat us alive. And now, on Valentine's Day, he had made it official. He had written me a letter, 3 pages of heartfelt, handwritten prose about soulmates and destiny, and he had given me a ring that looked like it belonged in a museum. I snapped a photo. Obviously. I angled my hand just right to catch the light, made sure the mimosa was in the background for the aesthetic, and posted it to Instagram. Caption: the easiest yes of my life. #engaged, #Valentine's Day, #soulmates. The likes started rolling in immediately. My phone buzzed on the nightstand like an angry bee. Friends, family, coworkers, everyone was commenting. "Congrats. Show us the ring." Finally. Mark went to take a shower. I lay back against the pillows, basking in the glow of social validation and future planning. Then, a DM notification popped up. It wasn't from a friend. It was from a user named Sarah_V89. I frowned. I recognized the name. Sarah. Mark's ex-fiancée. They had broken up 5 years ago, long before I met him. He rarely talked about her, except to say she was crazy and materialistic. I hesitated. My thumb hovered over the message. Why was she messaging me? Was she going to be bitter? Was she going to ruin my moment? Curiosity won. I tapped the message. Sarah_V89, hi Jenny. I know we don't know each other, and this is incredibly awkward, but I saw your post. I'm really sorry to do this to you today of all days, but that's my ring. I stared at the screen. My heart did a weird, stuttering flip in my chest. Me, excuse me? Sarah_V89, the ring. The vintage platinum one. Look closely at the band, right near the bottom left prong. Is there a tiny chip in the metal? Like a little notch? I looked at the ring on my finger. I brought it close to my face. I squinted. There, almost invisible unless you were looking for it, was a small, jagged indentation in the platinum. My blood ran cold. Sarah_V89, image attachment. It was a photo. From 5 years ago. It showed a younger Sarah holding a Starbucks cup, wearing the exact same ring. The same cut. The same setting. And if I zoomed in, the same chip. Sarah_V89, he told me he sold it when we broke up. He said he needed the money to pay off his student loans. I let him keep it because I felt bad. He didn't sell it, Jenny. He kept it. He's been hiding it in a sock drawer for 5 years. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. It wasn't the heat of embarrassment. It was the heat of betrayal. He told me he bought it at an antique shop. He told me he picked it out for me. But he didn't. He picked it out for her. And he just recycled it. The bathroom door opened. Steam billowed out. Mark walked into the bedroom, a towel wrapped around his waist, whistling. He looked happy. He looked proud. He looked like a liar. "Babe," he said, rubbing his hair with a second towel. "You want to go out for lunch? Celebrate?" I looked at him. I looked at the phone in my hand. Then I looked at the ring. It felt heavy now. It felt like a shackle. "Mark," I said. My voice was eerily calm. "Where did you get this ring?" He froze. The whistling stopped. He looked at me, confusion flickering in his eyes. "I told you," he said, walking over to the dresser. "That antique shop on 4th. "Why? Which antique shop?" I asked. "What's the name?" "I don't remember," he shrugged, pulling out a pair of boxers. "It was a while ago. Timeless treasures or something." "Why does it matter?" "It matters," I said, holding up my phone, "because your ex-fiancée just sent me a photo of herself wearing it in 2019. Mark stopped mid-motion, one leg into his boxers. He stared at me. His face went pale, draining of color until he looked like a wax figure. "She texted you?" he whispered. "She DM'd me," I corrected. "She sent photos, Mark. The chip in the band. It matches." He pulled his boxers up, his movements jerky and uncoordinated. He sat down on the edge of the bed, avoiding my eyes. "Okay," he sighed, running a hand through his wet hair. "Okay. So I didn't buy it recently." "So what?" "So what?" I asked, my voice rising. "You lied to me. You said you picked it out for me. You said it had my name on it. It literally has her energy on it, Mark. It's a used ring." "It's a vintage ring," he argued, finding his footing now, shifting into defensive mode. "Vintage means used, Jenny. Whether it was hers or some random lady's from 1950, what's the difference? It's a rock. It's metal. It's valuable. The difference is that you proposed to another woman with it." I shouted. "You looked her in the eye and promised her forever with this ring, and when that failed, you just put it in a box and waited for the next girl? Am I just a placeholder for the ring, Mark?" "You're being dramatic," he scoffed. "And materialistic. I thought you were cool. I thought you cared about us, not the jewelry." "I care about the lie." I threw the phone onto the duvet. "Why lie? Why say you bought it at an antique shop?" "Because I knew you'd react like this," he yelled back. I was trying to be smart. Why spend 10 grand on a new ring when I had a perfectly good one sitting there? "It's financial responsibility, Jenny. We're trying to buy a house, remember? I saved us money." "Saved us money?" I repeated. Something clicked in my brain. A memory. A jagged piece of the puzzle sliding into place. Last month. The bank statement. We have a joint savings account. We call it the house fund. I manage the finances because Mark is impulsive. But last month, I saw a withdrawal. A big one. $7,800. It was labeled transfer to EXTACCTIND. When I asked him about it, he got weird. He smiled that secretive, annoying smile and said, "Don't worry about it. It's an investment. For us. You'll see soon." I thought it was the ring. I thought he had taken the money to buy the ring. I let it go because I wanted the surprise. But if he didn't buy the ring, where was the money? I grabbed my laptop from the nightstand. I opened it. Mark watched me, his eyes narrowing. "What are you doing?" "I'm checking the bank," I said. "You said you saved us money. So the $7,000 you took out last month, that's still there, right? Or did you put it back?" Mark stood up. He looked panicked. "Jenny, stop. Don't look at that right now. We're celebrating." "I'm looking," I said, logging in. I clicked on the transaction history. January 14th, transfer out $7,800. I clicked on his personal account, which I had access to for emergencies. January 14th, deposit $7,800. January 15th, transfer to Coinbase. Crypto. He moved our house money into a crypto exchange. Open your Coinbase app, I said, turning the laptop screen toward him so he could see I knew. I can't, he stammered. I forgot the password. Open it, Mark. Or I walk out that door right now and never come back. He pulled his phone from the nightstand. His hands were shaking. He opened the app. He held it out to me. Portfolio balance, $214.50. I stared at the number. $200. He had lost almost $8,000 in 3 weeks. He had gambled our down payment on some meme coin or a pump and dump scheme. I can explain, Mark whispered. It was supposed to double. My buddy said it was a lock. I wanted to surprise you. I wanted to pay for the wedding and the ring and everything. So you didn't recycle the ring to be smart, I said, the realization hitting me like a physical blow. You recycled it because you're broke. You lost our money, Mark. You couldn't afford a ring. You had to use the old one because you gambled away the budget. I was trying to provide, he shouted, tears welling in his eyes now. I wanted to be the man. I messed up, okay? But the ring is still real. The diamond is real. Can't we just reset it? Get a new setting? I looked at the ring on my finger. It didn't look beautiful anymore. It looked like a symbol of failure. It looked like a consolation prize. And then, my phone buzzed again. Another message from Sarah. Sarah_V89, also. I don't want to overstep, but did he write you a letter? I froze. Me, yes. Sarah_V89, did it start with "to my North Star, the one who guides me home"? And did he misspell eternity as eternity? I looked at the letter on the bedside table. The handwritten, heartfelt letter I had cried over an hour ago. To my North Star. I scanned down to the bottom. I want to spend eternity with you. He hadn't just recycled the ring. He recycled the vows. He kept a template. He probably had it saved in his notes app. I felt sick. Physically sick. The pancakes I ate were threatening to make a reappearance. You wrote this letter to her, I whispered, picking up the paper. Mark looked at the letter. He looked at me. He didn't even try to deny it. He just slumped his shoulders. It's a good letter, he mumbled. I meant it. I meant it for you too. The feelings are the same. The feelings are a script. I screamed. I am a script to you. Do you even know who I am? Or am I just fiancé number 2? You're Jenny, he grabbed my hand. I love you. Look, I messed up. I know. But we can fix this. We can sell the ring. It's worth money. We can put it back in the savings account. We can sell the ring? I asked. Yes. It's worth like $5,000. We can recoup the loss. It's not your ring, I said coldly. It's mine. You gave it to me. Technically, Mark said, his voice taking on a desperate, whining edge, it's a conditional gift. If the engagement ends, I get it back. That's the law. Is it? I walked into the kitchen. Mark followed me. Jenny, what are you doing? I stood over the sink. I looked at the garbage disposal switch. You want the ring back? I asked. You want to sell it to cover your gambling debt? Yes, he said. Please. Just give it to me. We'll start over. I'll buy you a plastic ring. I don't care. I just need to fix the money. You can't fix this, I said. I took the ring off my finger. The platinum felt cold. This ring is cursed, I said. It's a lie. And I don't want it. I dropped it. It fell into the drain with a metallic clink. Mark gasped. What did you do? He lunged for the sink. I flipped the switch. Grrrr, crunch, grind, pop. The sound was horrific. It was the sound of metal being chewed by steel blades. It was the sound of a diamond shattering against the plumbing. No. Mark screamed. He tried to jam his hand into the disposal while it was running. I turned it off. Silence. Mark stared into the black abyss of the drain. He looked like he was about to vomit. You. He turned to me, his face purple. You just destroyed $5,000. You psycho. I destroyed a symbol of your deception, I said calmly. And honestly? It felt great. I'm suing you, he shrieked. I'm suing you for the value of the ring. Go ahead, I said. And I'll countersue you for the $7,800 you stole from our joint account. I think a judge will find that interesting. Dissipation of marital assets? Fraud? Mark slumped against the counter. He knew. He knew he had no leg to stand on. I walked past him. I went to the bedroom. I packed a bag. I didn't take much. Just my clothes. My laptop. The essentials. I walked back to the kitchen. Mark was on his knees, a flashlight in one hand and a pair of pliers in the other, trying to fish fragments of metal out of the disposal. Good luck, I said. I hope you find a piece big enough to pawn. I walked out the door. I drove to my parents' house. I cried the whole way. I cried for the 4 years I wasted. I cried for the house we didn't buy. But then, I stopped. I pulled over to the side of the road. I opened my banking app. I transferred my half of the remaining savings, the meager amount that was left, into a new, personal account. Then, I opened Venmo. I sent a request to Mark. Amount, $3,900. Note, half of the crypto loss. Pay up. He hasn't paid it yet. He probably never will. I checked Instagram later that night. I posted an update. Photo, a picture of my bare hand. Caption, turns out the ring has been engaged before. So has our savings account. Single and accepting applications for men who don't recycle. I tagged him. I tagged Sarah_V89. Sarah commented immediately, Queen behavior. Want to grab a drink? We're meeting on Friday. Mark is currently trying to sell his gaming PC to cover rent. I heard from a friend that he actually called a plumber to take apart the pipes, but the diamond was pulverized. It's gone. Dust in the wind. Just like us. So, tell me. Am I the monster for grinding a vintage diamond ring into dust to punish my fiancé, or did he just get the engagement he paid for?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.